What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. Welcome to the channel where you subscribe to get daily updates every single day on Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. We always take a look at the market, keep on track, and see what's going on. Today, we're going to take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial first and see why we might be looking for a relief rally in the Dow. And if that happens, we should see it in Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum also. We'll talk about that and much more. Definitely stick around for the whole video, and let's get into it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, investment advice, none of that. There is a disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. Make sure you read it, and always remember this is my opinion, not yours. Don't forget to give the channel a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below on what you think is going to happen today. I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say, and let's get into it. So, looking at the Dow Jones, we had this resistance line up top, support on the bottom, creating a rising channel here, which we broke last week at around the 2350, or I'm sorry, about 23.45 points. And if we do a measured move from where we broke down, we talked about it yesterday. I had said I didn't see us getting back up in here, and we would probably crash down, which is exactly what happened. Almost 300 or 3,000 points yesterday. My measured move from falling out of here is 16.8, guys. And if that does not hold when we get down here, and this could be weeks, it could be this week. But when we get down here, if this does not hold, there's no support until 12,000 and 10,000 point range. So it gets pretty scary if we go past the 16.8. Now, I did a Fibonacci retracement from the swing high to the swing low to where we are now. If we were to get a relief rally today, the possible target is around 22.3, actually 20.8 points up to 22.3 if we get the rally. But as you can see, let me get these ones out of here and look at the bigger picture from the swing low to the swing high. We have dropped below the golden pocket zone right here. So it's not looking very good, unless, you know what, I could move this down just a, yeah, we've dropped below the 0.65. So chances are, guys, we may get a little relief rally, but I think this free fall is going to continue. The 0.786 Fibonacci is around the 18.4. And if we were to drop below that, we may get some support here for a while, but I'm still looking for that 16.8. But like I said, we may get a relief rally. And if we do, we should see it in Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum also. So that should get interesting. Let's take a look at the pre-market. Dow is up right now, 257 points on the future. So it does look like they're going to try to do a little rally here. Let's look at the fear and greed index on Bitcoin. We are at 8. That's extremely fearful. And usually when extreme fear comes in, you'll usually see a relief rally, then everybody jumps in and then they dump it again. So be careful. And let's look at the monthly. We have the 55 EMA on the monthly. We did bounce back above it. And we are back above our trend line here, which is a little off. There we go. Which lines up with that 55 EMA. We did get our bounce down here off of this bottom trend line, off of these wicks. Let's get into the day or weekly. So on the weekly, we were watching this as a possible triangle, which we dropped out of. If you look at where we're at now, guys, we are sitting right on the 200 EMA. And I know a lot of people watch the moving average, 200 moving average and stuff. I do not use that in Bitcoin. It's still a young market. I use the EMAs. It's way better for the volatility that Bitcoin has. It keeps way more accurate. Anyone that's trading, you might want to switch over to EMAs. That's just my opinion. But the 200 EMA right here is exactly where we're resting, right around the 53.30, 53.40. If we can get above this and get support, then we might get our relief rally. And I've been talking about this. It's possible we get a relief rally all the way up to, you know, the $7,000 to $8,000 range. But we'll take a look at those here in a second. Let's look at one more thing in the weekly. We had this support and resistance line all the way back from here in 2015. We capitulated under it in 2014, broke above in 15, came back, tested it for support, and continued our bull run. Little different this time. We capitulated in 2018, broke back above in 19, tested for support, got support. Now we've dropped below it. Is this going to remain resistance? We will find out. Let's look at the daily. So Bitcoin on the daily. First of all, let's take a look at the RSI. If you guys watch my channel, you know I love the RSI. It is great for letting us know what the market's going to do. So as of this rising channel here that we fell out of as a possible bear trap, and yesterday we kept getting resisted as we tried to break above it. We finally got above it, and I said we could get our little rally if we get above that, and that we did get a little rally yesterday. And right now it looks like we are getting another. Let's look at the price action. And again, this is on the daily. We'll go into the smaller time frames before we get into Litecoin and Ethereum. So as of right now, the 50 around the 5400 is our 0.236 retracement of this swing high to swing low here. If we can break back above this and get support, my next target is around 64. After that, 72, and all the way up to the $8,000 range is possible. 9,072 is possible also. That's 0.786, but that would call for a pretty big rally. I'm not confident that we would see that. My lower targets here, actually this will move down now, around 2,000 or 4268 would line us back up with this trend line from these wicks down here if we were to come down today. But we would have to break through this long-term trend line first, which would be around, if we broke there today, it would be around the $4,800 range. So if we broke below there, I'd be looking for 42. Like I said, we may get a little rally today. It is moving up pretty good as I'm making this video. But again, we have to get above the 54 and make that support. So let's get into 4 hour. We'll take a look at the RSI first. And as you can see, I have the resistance line up top, support line on the bottom. We had this falling channel we popped out of here, tested for support, got support. Looks like we could come all the way back up to this range. And if we break that and come back up here, that would be, like I said, the rally today. But I'm not 100% confident in that, even though it is very possible. Let's take a look at the price action. So if we look at the price action, I have this triangle drawn in here, right? And if we measure the fall out of this triangle, and if you guys ever notice, whenever you're in a true triangle in the market, it's like the market pauses. Everything goes really slow within this triangle because it just keeps getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And it's like the twilight zone for the markets. It's really weird, but that's how you can tell you are in a true triangle. So the measured move, if we were to break down out of this triangle, depending on where we broke, so these targets aren't 100% exact, obviously, but if we broke down from here, I'd be looking for around the $2,200 range. And again, guys, these targets change. That's why we do daily updates. They change as the trend line and where we break the trend line. Everything has to come in play when you're looking at this stuff. The worst case scenario here, worst case, guys, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not spreading FUD. I'm showing you what I see. Would be measuring this as a flagpole. Bring it down. If we broke down here, looking at the $1,000 to $1,100 range as a target of a breakdown from this, if it plays out like that. But like I said, I would be looking for the 2,100 first. And actually, we could just hit a double bottom if we broke out of there around the between 31 to 3,300. These support resistance lines right here. But like I said, if we broke down, I'd be looking for that. Now, if we are to continue and rally up here, we'll have resistance right here around the 5750 range. And then the top of the triangle is going to be around the 5900 range. 6,000 will obviously see some resistance if we make it up there. 55 EMA is going to be around the 62 to 6,400. The 6400 is the 0.382. So basically, guys, if we can get above 59 or actually 6,000, then we could be looking for 62 to 64, possibly all the way up to the 78. And if things got really crazy and we rallied all the way back up to test this resistance line here that we broke down, and if you guys watch the channel, you knew I said if we broke down from this, we'd be extremely bearish, and look what happened. So to come back up and retest this trend line, which I really don't see happening, guys, would get us up to around the 9150 range, and that's the 0.786 retracement of this whole move down. But I would look for major rejection, most likely around the 6400 range, which would be this bottom trend line where we broke down. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll check it out. I will keep you guys updated. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to move on to Litecoin and Bitcoin. Let me get this off there. And see where we're at now. Let's, we did hit this. This was the 0.786 retracement of this little push up, which also lined up with our bottom trend line here. We did wick through it. This could have been a bear trap, guys. We're going to find out pretty soon. Go into the 1 hour real quick and just take a look at what's going on before we move up. And as you can see, all the EMAs have crossed here. It's looking kind of bullish. It's a possibility we get our move up here. But on the same note, let's look at the RSI. As you can see on the RSI, this falling wedge or descending triangle here. This looked more like a bear trap when we had these wicks up here in the train tracks, and we were watching this live. I said if that closed down there, it was going to be extremely bullish, which it was. Let me see something. Okay. So, like I said, we did bounce back out of this. We are getting support on it now. So this is going to be key in the 1 hour. If we break below this, super bearish. If we can continue up from here, we might be in pretty good shape. Let's look for some divergence. And as of right now, we're really not seeing any divergence in the 1 hour. How about the 4 hour? 4 hour, we are seeing a little bit of divergence. We had higher highs over here, lower highs here, higher highs here. But like I said, I do think it's a good possibility we come up and at least test this trend line here, which would most likely get us up to, judging by the RSI, the 62 to 6400. All right, let's go over to Litecoin. So looking at Litecoin, as you can see, I had this falling wedge here that we dropped out of here. I do have some measured moves we're going to look at. These are the fib retracement targets going up if we were to go up from here. If we did, I wouldn't see us breaking back past this. You can see the trend line I have off these two wicks here. I wouldn't see us breaking past this. The highest I would see us going with Litecoin at $52 to $54 range. And I honestly, I don't think we'll go that high. We may get rejection right here at the top of this triangle at 34.70. Continue down. There is some resistance at 39.06, right where we already hit. We've had this stuff here forever, guys, these targets. So I never change anything. So if you're watching the other guys that their charts change every day, they find these new indicators, their Bitcoin's going here, blah blah blah. Be careful, guys. Most of them guys don't know what the hell they're doing. As you can see, my charts are different. My targets hit. They all copy off each other, do the same crap. They make ranges. I actually put myself out there, give numbers. So just be careful who you watch. I'm not saying don't watch the other guys, but just be careful. A lot of them have no clue what they're doing. So anyways, let's look at this triangle and take a look at some measured moves here. I actually have two measured moves here. Looking at this as a falling channel, you can see the white lines. If we were to break up from here, my target from there gets us up to right around that 47.50, 47 to 47.50 range, which is also would be where the top of this wedge is here. Sorry guys, let me zoom in a little bit. Would also be where the top of this wedge is right here. It would get us up right around that 47.53, which is also the 0.382 fib. So watch for that. If we do break up and out of this triangle, like I said, that's measured move of this falling channel within it. But if we look at it as a triangle and do a measured move, if we were to break up from here, gets us up to around that 54.76, which I don't think it would be a straight shoot up. It's possible, but we'll see. That would also line up with the 200 EMA, but the 55 EMA is going to be around that $39 to $40 range. That'll be our first resistance if we pop up. If we turn around here and come back down, my targets are going to be, worst case scenario here would be a 1532 target. We do have support, obviously, would be double bottom around 25. If that's to break, my next target would be 1946, and that is looking at this trend line here. And actually, might have got moved. I use my phone a lot, and when I use my trading view on my phone, I accidentally move stuff, and then when I get on the computer, it's shifted. So anyways, yeah, around the 1532, and then like I said, I would expect us to maybe the $20, depending on how fast we fell here. But yeah, around the $19.50 to $20 range would be coming down to test this trend line. We'll see what happens there, guys. But like I said, until we break out of this triangle, as I said, the market is paused within these triangles. The volume is depleting to nothing, so we will most likely see a break of this today, possibly tomorrow at the latest. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. Let's look at Ethereum. Same thing in Ethereum. I have the triangle drawn here, which could be a bear flag or a falling channel. If we measured it as a falling channel and we broke up from here, we would have to break the $116 level. If we broke that with conviction, we would be coming back up to retest this resistance line that became support for like 2 seconds. And but that's where that measured move would go, and it lines up pretty good with this old old support here and the yellow support, and that lines up right around the 156 157 range. We may wick through that to come up and tag the 0.382 if we were to break up from there. If we're to break down, my targets, guys, are $48 range. 70, let's put this over here. 77, we may get some support, and that is this white trend line off of the wicks down here, support line. If that 77 breaks, I'm definitely looking for the 48. And then if we look at this as a flag pull, this being a bear flag, if that 48 was not to hold, we could be looking at around the $18, $19 level for Ethereum, as crazy as that sounds. But like I said, guys, with all this happening, we may continue down and end up, the altcoins may die, most of them. I honestly don't think Litecoin will go anywhere because I believe it is a true test net for Bitcoin. But I think a lot of these other scams, and Ethereum may be one of them, as much as people hate when I say that, it's just my opinion, guys. But I don't know. Look into blockchain for yourself. Don't just believe what everybody says. Doing research is not listening to a guy on the internet. Doing research is learning blockchain for yourself and really understanding what it's about, and decentralization. And if you really look into that, Ethereum's not decentralized, neither is XRP, none of that stuff, guys. So anyways, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe. The CryptoSavy logo above my head will get you subscribed to the channel. Also, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. Make sure you share the video if you like it and get stuff out of it. Help get this channel growing. And I appreciate everything you guys do, each and every one of you. Thanks, guys. Take it easy.